Now it is official, guys, the first trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2, the brand new game by Rockstar Games coming out next fall or 2017 in autumn, has just been released. The first trailer has in fact just been released, and my god, it looks stunning. So, I already uploaded the trailer here on the channel, or you can go and find it elsewhere on the internet, for example on the Rockstar Games YouTube channel, but I uploaded it just a couple of hours ago. You're going to see right now in this video, we're going to go through frame by frame of each little scene in the video, and we're actually going to be kind of looking into what each one could be representing. Now, it was more of a teaser trailer than an actual gameplay or release trailer. Obviously, this is the first thing, it is over a year away. But this is our first look at the game, and being that Rockstar typically shoot all of their trailers in-game, or at least in-engine, this thing looks absolutely amazing. So, let's have a look at it, guys. If you guys do end up enjoying the video, or if you are hyped for Red Dead Redemption 2, then be sure to go and drop a like down below, as it really would help me out, as always. Now, let's get into the breakdown. So frame number one is actually this kind of long panning shot of what appears to be a sunset or a sunrise. And we can see the silhouette of someone riding a horse off in the distance over one of these hills. Now, of course, we're kind of led to assume this is going to be John Marston, judging by as he approaches a little bit. You can actually see his classic cowboy hat, and that's very representative of him. But we can also see, aside from the main character in this is our first, absolute first look at the brand new map. And my god, this thing looks massive. Of course, this is just going to be probably a single part of it, but even just seeing the wide expanse of just completely open area here with nothing really else, we can see a slight hut behind the tree there on the left. That looks to be the only building in sight here. But this does tell me that the map is going to be absolutely massive, and that this is going to be a massive step up from Grand Theft Auto 5. As this looks like a scene straight out of the Grand Theft Auto 5 engine, which of course I believe both were actually made on the Rage engine. Now look at this. This is just absolutely stunning. So, being, like I said earlier, that Rockstar make all of their trailers very kind of in touch with what the actual game feels like and looks like, this could be a pretty strong indicator of what we can expect the game to look like on PS4 and Xbox One. But just look at this map. So this is of course somewhere out in the American Midwest. This thing just looks absolutely stunning. Just, you can see the animals down there. We just have this beautiful, beautiful expanse over kind of a light forest on the sides. We have the huge mountain range and the massive plains with just like a small pond in the middle of it. And we do seem to have a bit of a trail somewhere on the right there. Just the wildlife and just the beautiful, the natural beauty of the countryside is something that Rockstar feel really nailed with Grand Theft Auto 5. And this game feels like it's going to be the perfect playground for them to really build the most stunning map we have yet to see from a Rockstar title. Next, we actually have this scene here, so we can see a house in the background somewhere over on the left. We can actually see here we appear to be on a farm. We have a bunch of plantations here in the foreground. We actually have a skull hanging over one of the fences here, and we do seem to have some farm equipment on the left, a couple of like broken kind of wheels. We have some animals of some sort behind. I'm not sure they're going to be integral parts of the story, but we can kind of, so far, we get a really chilled out vibe from this. It's a really nice kind of, it's a really nice chilled out, peaceful vibe from the start of this trailer, and just the intro cinematics look absolutely stunning. This, you guys know that the map in GTA 5 was the thing that made it so impressive to me, and I feel like this game could be like that, but times two. This thing is absolutely beautiful. Another scenery shot. So we're getting a few scenery shots before we get any actual action here so far. We're actually here in the forest. You can see the light coming through the trees, the shadows being cast on the ground. Absolutely beautiful. We can see there's a bit of a pond there. Now this forest looks pretty dense, so this kind of tells me that we're going to have a lot of different scenery. For example, in GTA 5, we have the city, and then we have kind of the desert, and then the more foresty area around the North Plain County. Here, it looks like we're going to be able to have these massive expanses, as we saw at the start, just the rolling hills. We're going to see the massive mountain ranges as we've seen in a couple of the shots. And we're also going to have these really dense, kind of very dark and dank forests. I'm really, really excited. Next, we get another view of one of these massive plains. I can't easily tell if this is the same place as we've seen before, maybe an extension of it, but this doesn't look quite the same, because we have this massive panning overview shot here. We have some birds flying around showing off the natural wildlife, and we appear to be in a bit of a gorge. We have huge mountains on either side. We have a bit of a swampy kind of forest in the foreground, and as it leads off, you can see this river just leading off into the distance, and we can see the rolling hills way, way at the very back, which in my opinion are actually going to be part of the game. game. We see in a lot of games you have kind of the skyboxes that include mountains in the distance, just to kind of give a bit of detail. But of course GTA 5 was an island over on San Andreas, so we never had that issue, and I'm pretty sure we're not going to be having that issue here. If we just look at the detail, even as we go back, I can see most of the visible part of this map being playable, and that is going to be super, super cool. Next, we actually get our first kind of more intricate scene. We're actually in here in the forest, and you can see the beautiful Milky Way up in the sky. Absolutely stunning. This shot is just... It was the first one that really blew me away while watching the trailer live on the Rockstar Twitch channel. We can see again, we're back in the forest, we have a river running around, and we have someone who we can't really make out has actually started a fire on this little outcrop in the middle of the frame. He does seem to have his horse on the left, so we can assume this is John Marston. He's actually started a campfire just in the very middle. Our next shot is actually here. Again, we have a horse carrying an animal of some sort over its back, and we have another person, their back to us again, actually walking towards what appears to be a farmhouse over in the distance, holding onto his rifle with his horse and the rope. Just judging from the clothes, this appears to be a bit more of a kind of casual farmer. It doesn't probably appear to be anyone being super integral to the game, more so just an ambient character. This shot does let us onto another stunning view of the scenery though. In the background we can actually see some snowy mountains. It's just crazy to me. I have these beautiful snowy mountains right by kind of this expansive dry area. It's just absolutely insane. I know I keep saying it, but the map is beautiful. Next, we actually have this shot of two people in a canoe going along the riverbed here, or it appears to be more so on a lake or something. And again, we can see mountains in the distance. I think that's going to be a big part of the story for this game, is kind of the big expanse of mountains, the very kind of varied scenery through the area. But we can see here on the edge of the water here, two people in a canoe. Again, they're using silhouettes, so we can't really see who they could be. We next actually get another ambient scene. We have a train running through. This is our first sign of more modern life. We have the train running through on the train tracks, and we have a herd of buffalo all running around the sides of it, of which there's easily like 20 here. And that makes me quite excited, because something that we never got in GTA 5, and especially not in online, is even when we did get animals, a real density of them. But this game could be a bit of an indication that we're going to see that the advancements on the engine and the advancements of Rockstar's game development are going to be allowing us to have much more kind of real world living areas with a lot more kind of wildlife just running around as we play. This is our first scene inside an actual village. We have a bunch of people here. They just appear to be townspeople going past, for example, in this horse and carriage. On the left there, it goes through the frame. We have a general store here, as it's labelled, Worth's General Store. It also says it sells tobacco there, for example. But we can see that this does appear to be in some form of, it's kind of set in a bit of a poor area, as we can kind of imagine from kind of a farm area. But this does seem to be fairly poor. You can see the people sitting out front in kind of rundown areas. But we do also have people, for example, on the right in a bit of in a suit, or the person in the carriage seems to have a clipboard or some papers of some sort, and are also wearing suits. So I think we're going to see a bit of a kind of contrast between the real peasantry in the area and kind of the higher class people. This scene. Who do we think this could be now? Most people are assuming this is, again, John Marston at the front, because we never have once actually seen his face, much less the side of his face that has the two scars on it. Now, we're just going to be assuming this is John Marston on his horse. Some people have also alluded to the fact that this barn actually looks like the one in Red Dead Redemption 1, but being that it doesn't seem to be entirely set in the same location, I'm not entirely sure. We can see him leaving a kind of farm area here. We have a herd of cows actually going through the front there. But if you look around the barn here, you can see just some of the lighting effects, like kind of some of the dust in the air, the lighting effects being cast onto and causing reflections on some of the objects in the barn. The lighting in this game, I think, is going to be playing a massive part in its real beauty. Next, we have a bit more of a rundown area again. We're back in town and we can see a bunch of birds here. So a bunch of birds at the front. We have some guys standing over there on the left. These just look like farmspeople or townspeople. We have a man here with a rifle who also appears to be dressed pretty similarly to the dude that we actually saw walking through the field with his horse and holding his rifle. He's wearing the same clothes, but he does seem to have a slightly different hat. We can see a dog on the right. Now, the dog I don't suppose is going to be super important to the story, but he does look super detailed. Look at that fur. If that's any indication of how it's going to be in the game, that fur is super, super detailed. Back to another scene with John Marston, would assume. We can see him riding into what appears to be kind of another town here. Doesn't appear to be quite the same town. Right into a town with some fires already there, so we assume something bad's gone down. We're set at night, there's massive billowing black smoke coming out, so we'd assume this is a bit more of the dark, gritty side of the story. You can see him riding in there on his trusty horse. And next we can actually see another kind of cinematic sequence of him. He's actually being surrounded by fire here, and you can see him looking around, but again, we just can't see that one side of his face. Even in this one part here at the very, very start of the frame, you can just about see the side, but you can't see any real detail, and the camera actually pans around to the opposite side, to the one with his scars, so we can't get a proper identification of him, but I think by this point it's pretty much confirmed you'll be playing as John Marston. And for our final scene, we actually have the 7 people, we'd assume the 7 people from the cover art of this game and the promotional art that Rockstar have been using, riding on horses into the distance. We can see them coming up here on all 7 of their horses. They actually get a bit closer, so you can see a bit more of an in-detail view of some of them. Now, the YouTube compression did manage to kind of blur a lot of their faces, really, as they rode past quickly. But then the final shot is them riding off into the distance, giving us another beautiful view of the massive kind of deserty expanse of the new map, with the snowy mountains in the background, the really dry areas up close, and the desert-looking kind of rocks somewhere on the left. But if you just look at that, we're now going to be, it's clearly proven to us that the 7 members would assume would be 7 people in Dutch's gang. If we're going off the speculation that I mentioned in a couple of videos ago, about the 7 people being part of Dutch's gang, plus 2, because originally Dutch's gang, the old gang, was only 7, with John Marston and everyone. So we'd assume that these are going to be, of course, the same people. It wouldn't make any sense to have 7 people riding away here in a very climactic shot here, and 7 people on the actual cover art. So I don't imagine we're going to be having 7 protagonists. If some people have actually said, they said maybe Rockstar are going to follow the GTA aspect and have 7 different playable characters. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. I imagine we're going to be playing probably as just John Marston, but I can see the 6 other members of the gang being a very integral part of the story. But that's all of the shots that I have for you guys today. So this was the first trailer. Like I said, I'll actually leave a link in the description if you guys want to check out the original trailer, so you can go and see it for yourselves. But my god, I am so excited to learn more about this game, because so far, this thing looks absolutely stunning. The skies for this look absolutely amazing. GTA did that really well, and the skies for this looks like they could be the real skybox actually used in the game, and they look so realistic. This game's visuals in terms of its lighting, its textures, it's just absolute attention to detail. Of course, I'm saying this and we've only seen a 1-minute teaser trailer, but at least if this is any indication of the full game, this game is going to be visually very impressive. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. If you guys did end up enjoying the video, or if you are hyped for the game in any way, shape or form as I am, be sure to go and drop a like down below, as it really would help me out as always. Subscribe for more videos all about the brand new information we're going to be getting about Red Dead Redemption 2 over the next few weeks and months, all the way out to the next year until autumn 2017. Then be sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below so you never miss on a single breakdown video. And finally, follow me on Twitter where I post more daily GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, and graphic design content every single day. There's a link in the description down below. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys all very much for watching. My name has been Flair, signing out.